Welcome to another edition of the In the Ring Show with your host, Damien Darkchild, aka Devious Damien. This is my review of tonight's TNA's Impact Wrestling. So we've started, the show kicks off with a video package about the Sting versus Bobby Roode feud. Thing that will happen against all odds, and then, what's happened the past couple of weeks on Impact. Just kind of giving you a little brush up on what's leading up to their match at Victory Road. Excuse me for a minute. Okay. So the next, we had a Kurt Angle promo coming out talking about why he hates Jeff Hardy so much. A few of those reasons were, his hair, the way he dresses, Kurt Angle's own son liked Jeff Hardy more than he liked him. Women seem to love Jeff Hardy more than they love Kurt Angle. So all this basically led to Kurt Angle calling out Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy comes out. Kurt Angle challenges Jeff Hardy to a match at Victory Road. They brawl for a little bit. Jeff Hardy, then on the mic, he accepts the challenge. And so we got that match set for Victory Road. Next, we have the Bobby Roode segment where he's talking about Sting and, Sting booking himself in the main event, how it's not right, so on and so forth. Austin Aries, A-Double as he calls himself. Stupid nickname if you ask me, but anyway. So Austin Aries walks up to Roode, and they're all talking about how, Sting's the cause of both their problems, and how Sting, is abusing his power, so on and so forth. And Roode, this segment ends with Roode says, you have 5 minutes, and Aries says, I'll give you 10. They walk off together. So then after this, we get a mini gauntlet match, I guess you call it, because I'm not sure what else to call it, really. It was Kazarian and Daniels against AJ Styles. Well, the match starts off with AJ Styles and Daniels. So the match goes on for about 5-10 minutes. And then Kazarian enters the ring, hits the fade to black, gets Daniels disqualified. Suddenly it becomes Kazarian and AJ. And because Kazarian had just hit the fade to black, pretty much academic, Kazarian just pins AJ. 1, 2, 3, match is over. Kazarian wins. And Kazarian and Daniels leave together. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there was a stipulation that before the match started, if AJ had won, whatever Daniels was holding over Kazarian's head would have to be revealed. But as I just said, AJ didn't win, so we don't get to hear the secret tonight. So then there was a backstage segment with Gail Kim, Madison Rayne. Goat face. Oh, God. I agree with Schleg Daddy. She's a goat face, and oh my God, she's annoying. Almost as bad as Vicky Guerrero. But I digress. So Madison Rayne presents Gail Kim with this gift. It's like a trading card, and her picture's Gail Kim's picture is blown up on it and everything. So, Gail Kim says, thanks, Madison, I appreciate that. And then she presents Madison with 2 gifts. One going to, like, some kind of spa or something tomorrow. Something like that, I don't remember. But anyway. And then the second thing was that Madison had a match next against ODB. Madison's like, fucking going apeshit, about to have a coronary right where she's standing. So then, after that, it's ODB against Madison Rayne. ODB wins here in an okay knockouts match. The one memorable spot for me was ODB is going for the Bronco Buster. Madison gets her foot up in ODB's yoo-hoo. Oh, wait, what the? Why the fuck am I censoring myself? Do I have corporate sponsors here? Do I have to watch my language before I offend my sponsors? Fuck no, I don't have that kind of shit. This is my goddamn show. I'm the host of the In the Ring Show. It's my creation, my fucking show. So goddamn it, fuck this shit. Madison stuck her foot in ODB's pussy, and fucking after she left her foot in her pussy for a couple seconds, she just proceeded to launch ODB like she was just some kind of fucking kickball or something. Just, but anyway, yeah. So ODB wins the match. So one more backstage segment, of the many, mind you. Bully Ray, Austin Aries, and Bobby Roode are all talking. And Bobby Roode and Austin Aries convince Bully Ray to band together with them again with their fight against Sting, and Sting's antics of late. So we have a Velvet Sky promo next. Talk about how she's being screwed in TNA and how she's paid her dues and she feels like TNA needs to let her have her opportunity and so on and so forth. So Sarita and Angelina Love come out and proceed to start attacking Velvet Sky. Velvet gets the better of it for a few seconds, then Angelina and Sarita begin to double team Velvet. This goes on for a couple minutes till Mickie James comes in, makes the save, and basically Angelina and Sarita scatter. So then we have another segment, and I swear to God, if you're not going to have Hogan in this segment, please get Garrett Bischoff the fuck off TV. Okay, without Hogan, no Garrett Bischoff segment is interesting. Garrett Bischoff could have disappeared off the face of the fucking earth. Quite frankly, I wouldn't give two shits. I know some of you say that's a horrible thing to say. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. I'm not a fan of Garrett Bischoff. I don't think without Hogan, he really served much of a purpose in TNA. That's just my opinion, though. So then after that little pointless segment, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. So yeah, I forgot to mention. I'm sorry. Ric Flair has basically warned Garrett Bischoff to get out of TNA. Garrett says, "I'm my own man," and thanks Ric Flair for the heads up. But it appears we're going to get more Garrett Bischoff in TNA. Like I said, without Hogan, I don't really care about Garrett Bischoff. But whatever. So we get Austin Aries, Bully Ray, and Bobby Roode heading to the ring. So then after we come back from commercial, we got the Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and Bully Ray promo, where they're all airing they're talking about their little grievances against Sting and so on and so forth. They all say, "I'm done." Aries complains about, him not having a main event. Bully Ray complains about the whole Brendan Jacobs situation, and then we have Bobby Roode once again complain about Sting booking himself in the main event at Victory Road. Well, they all say they're done. They stage a little sit-down strike. Lights go out. Sting appears, walks up to Roode and Aries respectively, and says, "Well, if you both are done, then I get to strip you of your championships." So then he goes to Bully Ray and says, "Well, if you're done, that means you're no longer an employee of TNA. You don't collect paychecks." So then they all kind of get all pissed off, and then I guess they sort of decide to stay against what they want to do. And then Sting books Bully Ray, Bobby Roode, and Austin Aries against James Storm, Samoa Joe, and Magnus later in the night. So then after that, we get a Jesse Sorensen segment about updating, the status of his injury, about him coming back to TNA, how his family doesn't want him to give up on his dream. So then after that, they cut to Zema Ion, talking about how he has no remorse for what happened to Sorensen, saying it's not ballet, wrestling's a dangerous business, and, basically, when you get in the ring, it's at your own risk. I mean, those weren't his exact words, but that's the gist of what he said. So then it was Shannon Moore against Zema Ion. Zema Ion wins, not to my surprise, because they're trying to build Zema Ion to look like a viable contender and a threat to Austin Aries X Division Championship. Will they put Zema Ion over at Victory Road? I doubt it. But they're trying to at least make him look good, so I guess, I gotta commend TNA for that at least. So then we get Sarita and Angelina Love. Now before I reveal who their opponents are, first I'll say the match, then I'll say my opinion. Sarita and Angelina Love against Velvet Sky and Mickie James. Now, Sarita and Angelina Love. This tag team I don't get. Where is Winter? Furthermore, I don't understand Sarita's choice of outfits. Now, granted, I'm no fashion guru myself. I'll be the first to admit it. But first you get Sarita wearing like some fucking fluorescent yellow-green type shit, whatever the fuck it was. Now tonight, she's fucking wearing this fucking bright-ass orange shit, looking like she could direct traffic or land a fucking airplane or something. So you got the traffic director Sarita and Angelina Love against Velvet Sky Mickie James. Velvet and Mickey win. Hey Sarita, you know, if your career in wrestling ends up short, you could wear that little outfit you wore tonight, and like I said, direct traffic or land a plane. Good career choice for you. So once again, another segment with Samoa Joe, Magnus, and James Storm, and they're talking about, you know, tonight, their match tonight, how they're not exactly the most usual team, you know, they're kind of like a mixed breed sort of type deal as a team, but they're going to go out there and win the match tonight. So then after that, we get in our segment with not Samoa Joe, excuse me, but Abyss. A segment with Abyss and his disappearance from TNA. Now, I couldn't tell if I was watching an episode of Find Our Missing or if I was watching TNA because Abyss disappearing. You know, does TNA really think they're fooling anybody with Abyss disappearing? Do they think they're fooling any of us? We all know that Abyss is probably sitting at home just, you know, chilling, doing whatever, resting up from an injury or something. I just don't understand. And WWE is just as guilty. You know, they make up some wacky storyline when they can't just say, hey, you know, he's taking time off to nurse an injury. They always gotta. Once in a while they acknowledge the injury, but sometimes they just fucking do some bullshit reason to get him off TV instead of just saying, hey, you know, we're taking him, you know, instead of just taking him off TV right then and there and just saying, hey, he's resting from an injury. But anyway, on to the main event. It was Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and Bully Ray against Samoa Joe, Brutus Magnus, and James Storm. Joe, Magnus, and Storm win. Afterwards, Bully Ray takes out Magnus and Storm with a chair, and Bully Ray stands over James Storm and says that he is going to make sure that James Storm don't make it to lockdown, that he's going to make sure it's him and Bobby Roode in the cage at lockdown, and that Bully Ray is going to be the one that takes the World Heavyweight Championship from Bobby Roode at lockdown. So where they're going with that whole storyline, I don't know. I don't know if they are going to actually try to have Bully Ray take out James Storm. I don't know. Or if it's just, you know, a little teaser and James Storm. I'm hoping that James Storm does make it to lockdown because I kind of want to see that Storm versus Roode in the cage. Anyway, my grade on tonight's Impact. What do you think, Devastating Deb? Should I bring the hammer down or should I be generous with this one?
It was alright. Just, there's more talking than there was actually wrestling. So go hard.
Fuck it. F. This show fails. I am sorry. This show fails. Okay, first of all, the knockouts were better than the men's, first of all.
It shouldn't be counted as a wrestling show.
Second of all, you say, hey, Impact, you know, you aired the other segment I didn't even mention because, quite frankly, I thought it was a stupid segment. But since I'm making a point, I will mention it now. You had fans talking about how TNA is great because wrestling matters. How can fans say wrestling? Maybe at the live shows wrestling matters, maybe. But don't try to sell me that bullshit on TV. You know, because you had more. Tonight you had more segments than you had matches, and the women outdid the men except for the main event.
They are much better in person.
Yeah, TNA's live shows are good. I'll admit that. The wrestling is awesome at their live shows, but on TV they suck. Wrestling does not matter to these people on TV. TNA, wake up. If you want fans to go see your live shows, present a better TV product. This show is an epic failure. I am sorry. I mean, not every TNA show, but this particular edition of Impact, F. Bottom line, fail, flunk, phooey, epic fail, or however the hell you want to say it.
Trying to start too many storylines all at the same time.
Exactly. They're trying to mix too much shit together. They're trying to throw too many ingredients into the same goddamn bowl, and it's becoming a disaster. So, yeah, this show gets an F. Maybe if they stop having such a clusterfuck of a show with, you know, so many storylines, so many goddamn segments that, you know, sometimes I don't even think they know where they're going with the segments.
Make the stories in the ring.
Yeah, tell the stories in the ring. That's all I gotta say. Go back to the old school, tell stories in the ring. Leave it there. Okay, enough of the segments, enough of the promos. Don't cut them out entirely, but just don't have them as loaded as they are now. Anyway,
More wrestling.
more wrestling.
Less talk.
Less talk, more wrestling. For the In the Ring show. Oh, before I say that, leave your thoughts and opinions of tonight's Impact down in the comments. Let me know what you thought. For this edition of the In the Ring show, this is Damien Darkchild, aka Devious Damien. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and good night, everybody.